losing me. You're kind of losing me, and I'm kind of losing you. Told that person that he's pretty. If I don't chat with this person, this conversation is basically dead. For some reason, we decided that we were going to purchase the day of the concert for the tickets. So I was wholly unprepared for this, but this is the outfit. Today is concert day. My friend is not answering me. I don't know if she's awake yet. And major regret for not buying earlier because there was a problem with my friend's card and we had to resort going to Twitter because our budget for this trip was not it. But we got the tickets and it was not a scammer, it was official. I was so happy for it, and look at her. Just super happy to see the Rose finally in the flesh. I've been a fan for a very long time. They pulled me through on my first job. So yes, I am so happy for this. It was a VIP standing, so I was always sitting down because I am old. 3, 2, 1. Probably the most solid makeup, 15 hours. For some reason, you know how you're building your friendships up, and then I had an epiphany where I suddenly realized that if I don't chat with this person, this conversation is basically dead. And I don't want to keep friendships like that anymore. It seems a bit too childish for my taste. I don't want to be that kind of person anymore who just keeps tabs on everybody just to know that, oh, are we still friends? Are you alive? So I didn't want that type of friendship. So I stopped myself messaging first. And then at that same day, tell me why he messaged asking me how I am, which is a first. This person never sent out this type of how are you thing. It's always me who initiates the conversation. So this was pretty new to me. He started asking about his book because I borrowed some of his books, and I'm like, did you just ask me how I am, or are you really asking how your books are? And I told him that, and he's like, no, I genuinely am curious how you are because we haven't talked in so long. And I'm like, what is going on? Are we really gonna be friends, or this is a new development? So I got pretty excited about it, and we started talking the whole day. We sent over voice notes to each other just to discuss. At some point, he also updated me something about his life, which he's never done before. It's usually conversations that is very shallow, you know, acquaintance type of conversations before, but now there's depth to it. I know what's happening on his bookshelves. I know where he's living now than before, that he's moved out, things like that he never normally discloses. So it was like, oh, I in my mind, I was really appreciative of that, because I haven't had someone who update me that way, which it felt really good. And then at some point we started talking about crushes and how both of us are trying to build our confidence and trying to develop as a person in general. And then at some point I told that person that he's pretty before and now, and then he also said the same to me. At that time it sounded so awkward coming from both of us. I talked to my friends about this because at that time I was already interested in this person. I don't really see it as black and white in a way that you would say, oh, you already had a crush on this person, so you're just giving into your delusions. No, not really. I know it's just friendship that I'm looking for. It just so happens that he's also a likable person. I asked my friends about it and they're like, well, if you're really aiming for the kind of friendship that you're looking for, try to see if it's going to be an ongoing thing. And then after it's gonna be an ongoing thing, try to see if it's something that you're still interested in romantically or even casually. And I said, okay. And then a month of silence. It's like Christmas, New Year's, my birthday. It's all in the same month. And usually when you have occasions like that, you say Happy New Year's and Merry Christmas and whatnot. Silence. The silence was so loud, and I'm like, oh, it is just a one-time thing. And then at some point I decided to I just wanted to see how he is, because if we don't talk, he's never going to receive his book. I am never going to get back the book that I made him borrow. So I decided to ask Kai how he is he alive or something? And he replied that he's been going through something. I guess he's been busy. And he also invited to go out and have dinner and also go to a cafe. And I said, okay. So we scheduled the time. And then when the day before that scheduled meetup, he messaged me saying, I'm so sorry to cancel on you, but something came up, so I needed to cancel. Let's just reschedule the following week. And this time, I said yes. And then I thought about what next week means. That next week is basically me having the busiest days at work, like the whole 5 days at work. I was so busy. I was just crying and laughing through it. And then the Friday, that time, I'm going to a concert that I'm looking forward to. And then the next day of that concert, it's the meetup. And then the day after that meetup with him, I'm meeting up with another friend where I am reconsidering our friendship. So it's like an overwhelming pressure from that week that I feel like I am going to burst at my seams. But I pushed through. The concert was great, as you already know. And then the day of that scheduled meetup comes up. And then I message him that I'm already preparing. Like, I have my skincare on. I'm already putting on my clothes. And then he's like, oh, hi. He replied to my message when I told him that I'm on my way. And he's like, oh, sorry, I forgot that today was the scheduled day. I have to cancel because I have errands. And then nothing. Like, that's not even a proper apology for wasting my time. I would have appreciated if there was a heads up before. Or just cancel it altogether, that's fine. But you can't change your mind twice already and waste some other person's time because clearly I have made an effort to create or make time for that person. And well, would have been nice to reciprocate that kind of energy. But then again, we're already here. It's already done. I was so pissed because I was already mentally prepared to go there, because where we're going, it's about an hour away, and yeah, so disappointing to say the least. I was so pissed that I've gone silent for a few days, because honestly I was also so busy at that time, and I just sent out a last message saying I'm going to send over your books through a courier, so just leave your contact number and then I'll send you the details of it, and you can do the same for my book. And that's what happened. And then I have no intention whatsoever to message this person again. You know, friendships as an adult is really hard. I didn't know it was gonna be this hard. But yeah, I'm not hoping for anything from that person anymore. Hope he has a good life. But yeah, on to the next, I would say. Period. Hi, I just got home from meeting one of my friends, and initially I had this idea where I'm going to talk to this person because personally I don't feel well or comfortable with our current relationship. You know how in one of your friendships you have your best friend, your everything, your first and everything, and she was that to me, and we have been friends for 2 decades now, and we have known each other since we were very, very young, and up until now that we are adults, and we still kept in touch, and we are still each other's best friends. But in the last few days or months even, I didn't feel that way. I was already feeling a bit distant with her, and I've had some thoughts, and I wanted to communicate this type of feeling with her and let her know that it's not a her problem, it's not a problem I have with other people involved in her life. It's a me problem completely, and it's something that I have been feeling. And in friendships, usually, whenever someone chronically online discusses their feelings, with friendships, it's usually very black and white, and I don't see a lot of people having conversations surrounding friendships like this, and even the long-term type of friendships for someone my age, which is in their mid-20s. So I'd like to come on here and say something about my experience, about my developing relationship within the friendship scale with one of my friends. Also, we just met up, right? And she gave me this. So I'm gonna open it up and try on some of the colors while I tell you about what happened. So earlier, later last year, she was completing her law degree, and I'm so very proud of her. I have been her number one fan when it comes to her decision to go into law, to get involved in law classes. And yeah, whenever she has breakdowns, I'm there for her, and vice versa. We're just each other's cheerleaders, is what I'm trying to say. And then at the time where she is already completing her degree and she did the bar exam and we're just waiting for the announcements, she declared that she wanted everyone to be there as her support system while we're waiting for the actual announcements. I took my leave, which I rarely do, and I dedicated and made time for her. And then, come the day before the announcement, she suddenly canceled, saying that she doesn't think that me being there or the whole friend group being there is something that she needs at the time. And my thoughts is, great, that's fine. You can change her mind. Totally okay. And she gave me a heads up. That's like really great, cool. And then the day of the announcement came, and I'm still on leave because I can't take it back. Suddenly she left a message saying, if you want to come over, you can come over. And then I came over there, and then I saw one of our friends already there. So it means that someone was already there as her support system at the beginning of the day, and it wasn't me. And I felt that at the time, for the very first time in a long while, I felt that I was second place, or I was kind of set aside and someone took my place. But then again, since I am an adult and I was very understanding already, that I understand that you have a friend where you assign some of your personalities. Maybe at that time she felt that my chaotic energy is not what she needed, and that I completely understand. At some point after the announcement of the bar exams, she got in, she passed, and we're celebrating. Great. I just noticed that we don't talk the way we talked before. Like, she's not reaching out to me anymore. Like, we don't ask each other, hi, how are you? How have you been? We don't send each other memes or any relatable content on the internet, which we usually always do. And I think at that time, that's when I slowly realized, oh, something's changing with our friendship, and I'm unsure what it is. So I let it simmer. I let it sit for a while. I let that thought sink in and see if it's something that would affect me and our friendships in the long term. I noticed that she has been distant. She hasn't been talking to any of our friend group except for that one person, same person who was there for her first when they were announcing the bar exam results. I also saw that they had the time to go out when I didn't hear anything from her at all. And then they had inside jokes whenever they're chatting on our group channels. And so I think that kind of intensified this feeling of me being left behind. I kind of thought that, hey, you're losing me. You're kind of losing me, and I'm kind of losing you. Is it something that can be fixed, or is it just at this time or age that we have, it's completely okay to be set aside, and it's completely okay to be the second best friend, or just the best friend, not soulmates type. It sounds very childish. It just sounds like it's so unimportant, but this friendship is very important to me because it passed decades, and at some point these people are she's my people. So I really genuinely just wanted to talk to her about this and see what's going on. Is it just a me problem? Is there really something going on? And so that's why I asked to meet her. And then I explained all of these to her, and she said that, first of all, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. And I really appreciate that I felt so seen. And I was very honest that I know it's not your fault, or it's not about you exactly. It's about me and what I'm feeling. It's a me problem that is connected to you. I'm not saying that this is your problem. It's just something that I thought I could have a conversation with you. Because initially, when I was thinking about this and sharing it to some of my friends, this kind of dilemma that I have, I thought it was going to be a very difficult conversation, because it has a lot of potential to be a friendship ender, if you know what I mean. But it turned out to be a very heartfelt conversation, and she told me about her challenges and the reason why she wasn't reaching out. And she's not just not reaching out to me, but also to a number of our friends, and they have noticed that. It turns out that I'm not the only person who noticed that she's been closed up ever since she passed the bar, and she has some feelings about her professional endeavors behind closed doors that she doesn't want to discuss with other people, and it's something that she wants to brew in her mind alone. So completely understand it. And it's also great that I was able to communicate this with her instead of just letting my feelings rot, because that's usually not a very good idea to do. I should know. But yeah, it turned out great. I thought I was gonna end one of my longest friendship relations over something so superficial. Turns out communication really is key. Oh my god. This eye makeup is not turning out the way I want it to be, because the only brushes that I have are the thin ones and I can't blend anything. Let's try this. But anyway, yeah, that's what happened with one of my friendships now. Turned out really great. And I am so very proud of her, and I'm so happy that I was able to confide with her without having it end into some kind of fight. We did have a fight before. It was so bad that I wanted a friendship over. Uh, but we worked it out. And I'm so happy for that. Anyway, I haven't had a hangout with her in a very long time, and I missed having our conversations. She's the type of person who I have so many conversations with that we don't run out of any topics whatsoever, but we are so very energetic when we're together that sometimes in the middle of our conversation we just stop talking and we kind of just recharge and we just totally understand each other. With We've known each other since we were in the second grade. That is a lot of years on our belt. And here's the finished look. I already went out and this is the pre-shower makeup. Anyway, that's all. Bye.